Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're going to be looking at SMCI today. We've been riding up this short-term trend line since about November 2024. We've had two bounces off of it. Let's see if we get another bounce. We're also holding this horizontal level of support. As you can see here, it dates back to July 2023, August 2023, where we've made that a level that we've bounced and respected before and acted as support and resistance. We've also been pushing down this trend line on the larger time frame as well. So price is pretty much compressing into this area. So maybe we get a little bit of chop and then price makes a decision. And we either break down below this trend line or we start to push up to this next level of support along with this trend line up here. So maybe we crack this trend line and we push up to the next one. Maybe we get something where we break above this retest and then we get to this one and move on up from there. If not, then maybe we get something where we chop, break underneath, retest this support, acting as resistance now, maybe touch this trend line and then continue down. Those are the two things I can see playing out. In terms of the Bollinger Bands, we're right underneath the blue band on the daily. On the weekly, we are also on the blue band. We're holding it as support. We got a bounce off of the green band in November, and we've kind of been holding up pretty well ever since. On the weekly, we are above the 20 and the 200, but the 20 week is acting as support right now. We got a pretty decent bounce off of it. As you can see, we've been riding the 20 for some time. It's the blue and white line. We bounce off of this and ride this up pretty well in the uptrends. On the daily, we are above the 50-day, but we're underneath the 20 and the 200-day. In terms of the RSI, we were overbought over here and now we're somewhat towards the middle. And it looks like RSI is trying to crack above this moving average that we have along here with it. It's trying to push up and push back to this top part of the range. On the weekly, we hit oversold levels and now we're creating higher lows and we're holding above this moving average that we have attached to it. The yellow line is the moving average and RSI is the purple. So see if we continue moving up in that direction. The MACD looks great on the weekly. We're pushing up, trying to crack through this line and push back into positive territory and create more green candles with increasing volume. On the daily, we're still a little bearish, but we can also end up not breaking back into negative territory and we hold this and the blue starts to overtake the orange again, how we saw here. And maybe we just start to curl back up this way. So when we take a fib from here, this move, November to December 9th, you can see the golden zone, the 0.5 to the 0.618, played a pretty strong role. As you can see, it was acting as support and resistance for a while, and we got a bounce off of that level. So we're going to act as if we were only in this area. And this part of price hasn't happened yet. This would have been a good place to purchase. So we're going to look to see, okay, if we pull it all the way up to the top where we're currently at, you can kind of disregard this now because we're going from here to this top point. So really we're just looking at this piece of it. And we're getting a bounce off the 0.618 and the 0.5, which is the golden zone as well. So let's see if we get another move like this, how we saw off of this golden zone prior to this move here. Another thing to take into consideration is the golden zone up top. We do have a larger golden zone up here. So on the flip side, we do have this large golden zone right here. And it's in a bearish direction. This is a 0.5 to the 0.618. We got a bounce off of that and have been pushing down since. But let's see if we ride the trend line up and try breaking this golden zone and flip it to a positive and have a reversal. Maybe we get like a head and shoulders, an inverse head and shoulders and push up to the top. And in terms of price targets, let's see if we can, speculate on something. See if we take this local high to the start of the move and you have the 2618. You have the 2618 from this local high to this bottom. You can see that the 2618 played a strong level of resistance and support for a little bit of time. It was a couple of weeks actually, from February 12th to about April 8th. You were kind of able to see that it was acting as resistance, broke above, and it kind of held, bounced, and then we broke underneath it. but this was a strong level, the 2618. It was acting as a magnet. Let's see if we move it to here. Maybe the next price target that we get whenever SMCI decides to start running up, maybe it's to the 2618 again. Maybe it goes a little bit above, or maybe it only falls to the 2272, but maybe we stay in this region and we get that move up to 320 or something like that and crack above all-time highs. Because once SMCI gets moving, it gets moving quick. So once it gets that volume behind it and positive sentiment, it will start ripping to the upside. Let's see. This looks like, for now, the bottom. We'll see what ends up happening, but it's looking pretty good in the short term. That's all I have for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.